Now let's talk about question number 2. Question number 2 says air at a temperature of 15 degrees Celsius passes through a heat exchanger at a velocity of 30 meters per second where its temperature is raised to 800 degrees Celsius. This means that you are putting in some heat in the heat exchanger. It then enters a turbine with the same velocity of 30 meters per second and expands until the temperature falls to 650 degrees Celsius. On leaving the turbine, the air is taken at a velocity of 60 meters per second to a nozzle where it expands till the temperature falls to 500 degrees Celsius. If the air flow rate is 2 kg per second, find the three things to find. The first is the rate of heat transfer to the air in the heat exchanger, the power output from the turbine assuming no heat loss, that is adiabatic, or the turbine is insulated. Next is the velocity at exit from the nozzle assuming no heat loss, again adiabatic conditions. Now we can assume and we can use the value of enthalpy as CPT, where Cp is the specific heat at constant pressure, not volume. And the value of Cp for air is 1.005 kilojoule per kg Kelvin. Now, if you look at this diagram, this is a very simplistic schematic of this very long question. We have three major elements in this. One is the heat exchanger. So this is the heat exchanger. This is the turbine and this is the nozzle. So let us say this is section 1, this is section 2, this is section 3 and this is section 4. So we'll divide this process into three sections. So for the first is 1 to 2, the other is 2 to 3 and the third is 3 to 4. Okay. Now let's write down one by one. The temperature of the air is how much? It is 15 degrees Celsius. So at section 1 you have T1. Okay, so T1 is 15 degrees Celsius and it enters the heat exchanger at a velocity of 30 meters per second. So V1 is 30 meters per second. Okay. The temperature is raised to 800 degrees Celsius. So the temperature at the exit of the heat exchanger, that is T2, it is 800 degrees Celsius. So there is some heat that is being supplied to this heat exchanger, that is Q. So we need to find out Q in the process 1 to 2. Alright. Now the air then enters the turbine at the same velocity of 30 meters per second. So V2 is again 30 meters per second. Now V2 is the velocity at exit of the heat exchanger and entry to turbine. Okay. Now where it expands until the temperature falls to 650 degrees Celsius. So T2 is not T2 but T3, because here T3 would be 650. So air enters the turbine at 800 degrees and exits at 650 degrees. Okay. Now after turbine it is taken to a nozzle. Now when it enters the nozzle, it has a velocity of 60 meters per second. Now this is velocity at section 3. This means the exit velocity of turbine is equal to the inlet velocity of nozzle, which is V3, which is 60 meters per second. And the temperature falls to 500 degrees Celsius. So T4 is also given to you. So T4 is 500 degrees Celsius. Okay. And we have been given that the mass flow rate is 2 kg per second. So m dot is 2 kg per second. Alright, so this is the whole question in terms of the given data. Now we need to find out Q12, and the second option is to find the power output from the turbine. So we need to find out some shaft work the turbine, that is work 2, 3, and the velocity at the exit. So we need to find out V4. Okay, so these things are to be found. Let me mark them in red. So this is the first thing to be found out. This is the second thing to be found out, and this is the third thing to be found out. All right. Now, how to do this lengthy question? It's very simple. Because we are using a steady flow process, so let me write down the steady flow energy equation, that is m dot into h1 plus v1 square by 2 plus z1g plus q12 is equal to m dot into h2 plus v2 square by 2 plus z2g plus wx12. Now this is the SFEE for the process 1-2, that is for heat exchanger, and similarly you can apply this same equation for 2-3, that is for turbine, and same for nozzle, that is 3-4. So let's start by analyzing heat exchanger first. Now in a heat exchanger there is no difference in the kinetic energy, so you can say that, you know, and it is also evident that V1 is equal to V2, so V1 square and V2 square, they'll cancel off. There is no elevation difference, so Z1 is equal to Z2, so they also get cancelled off, and also there is no shaft work involved, so work 1-2 is also 0 because you are taking the case of heat exchanger. So the SFEE for a heat exchanger reduces to m dot h1 plus q12 is equal to m dot h2. So this means that whatever heat that you provide increases the total energy of the fluid. So from here you have to find out q12, and we know that H is equal to CPT. So the equation will reduce to q12 is equal to m dot into CPT2 minus CPT1, and you can put in the values over here. So your value would be 2, that is the mass flow rate, into, so let me write 2 into Cp is 1.005 into T2 is how much? 800 minus 15. So this would give you the heat input to the heat exchanger, and that would be around 1580 kilojoules per second, that is kilowatts. So this is the end of the first part of the question, that is the rate of heat transfer to the air in the heat exchanger. So that is done. Very simple, just apply the SFEE between these two endpoints, that is 1 and 2. Now let's analyze the turbine, and we'll apply the same SFEE for the turbine as well. Now in turbine, if you write down this again, let me write this equation again, that is m dot into h2 plus v2 square by 2 plus z2g plus q23. Okay, because now we are going from 2 to 3, and this is equal to m dot h3 plus v3 by 2 plus z3g plus wx23. Now from this is completely 0 because we are taking an insulated case, or you can say no heat loss is being taken, and this is to be found out. Alright, now V2 is given to us as 30 and V3 is 60. Okay, we can cancel off these elevation differences, right? So the value would become, so you will get m dot into h2 plus v2 square by 2 is equal to m dot into h3 plus v3 square by 2 plus wx23. That is the shaft work output from the turbine. So it has become a very simple equation now, from which the unknown is this quantity, and rest all things are known to you, because we know the value of T3 as well. So you can very well find out H3. Okay, so when you put in the values, the WX23, that is the shaft work output from turbine, would come about to be 298.8 kilowatts. So this is the second quantity that you need to find out in this question. Very simple. Apply the SFEE for turbine. We know there are no elevation differences, so they become 0. It is an insulated case, so the heat loss is 0. Okay, and this is something we need to find out. Just simply put in the values and find out the answer. So the trick is to write down the SFEE, and you should know which values to strike off in the question. Now the last case is to find the velocity at exit from the nozzle, again assuming no heat loss. So now I will apply the steady flow energy equation between points 3 and point 4. So, and this is why you should remember the specific cases of SFEE on turbine and SFEE for nozzle, because it will save time for you to, write down the complete equation and then cut each term one by one. So you should remember the SFEE for each of these systems. So for nozzle, if you apply directly between 3 and 4, the SFEE is V3 square by 2 plus H3 is equal to V4 square by 2 plus H4. Okay, and this can be written as V4 square minus V3 square by 2 is equal to H3 minus H4, which is Cp into T3 minus T4. And T3 is 650 and T4 is 500. Okay, and V3, how much is V3? Is 60 meters per second. So you put in the values over here and you would get V4 square minus 60 square is equal to 2 into 1.005, and this 2 can be taken up here, into T3. How much? T3 was 650 and T4 is 500. So the difference comes out to be 150, and when you take 60 square over there and take a square root, so the V4 value will be around 554 meters per second. So this is the exit velocity from the nozzle at point 4. So this is how you do such a long question which involves the application of steady flow energy equation at multiple points. So you should remember the SFEE conditions for heat exchanger, turbine and nozzle in order to save time. So I hope you understood this question on SFEE application on heat exchanger, turbine and nozzle. Thanks for watching.